It's a lovely Thursday morning here from our studios. Welcome to Waste Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? My name is Omotoshola Sharimaki. And with me, of course, are the ladies. I oftentimes do not come alone. So good morning, ladies. How are you ladies doing?
How are you?
How are you doing? I don't get it. There's this black, there's this blue, there's this purple lip. I mean, very unmindful.
Oh,
How are you doing though?
I'm fine. I think I'm okay. This
You
is just
think
me
you're
thinking about
okay?
it. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
not I'm not sure. I'm not certain.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. How about you? How you doing?
Well, coming here this morning, I was squashed like a sandwich.
Hey,
But I'm fine.
boss, right?
Yes, but
That's
I'm
why
fine.
that's why you'd always see me in the front seat. You see those she for me, adjust for me, come up for it. You
Calm
don't
down.
match me. I
Come
don't have the
inside.
power for it, to be honest.
Let's order the next available right.
I swear. To be honest, like nah.
So today we are going to be talking about emotional intelligence in relationships. I mean, and it's something I really look forward to having the conversation on, because we're not going to be talking about just relationships only. We're going to be talking about platonic relationship, family relationships, best friend type of relationships. We're going to be talking about
Acquaintance and all.
acquaintances and all of them. But yes, if you're going to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button now, share the link to family and friends, and also stick around to the end of the show. As mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about emotional intelligence in relationships, and we will be spreading out the topic on our table here. We will not be having a guest to have this conversation with us. Right now, we are going to go on a quick break, and when we return, headlines across the globe commence in a jiffy. Glad to have you join us. You're welcome back from that break. Now let's take a look at the pages of today's newspaper. Today we have the Vanguard newspaper, we have the Punch newspaper, and of course the New York Times. And I will be starting with the Vanguard newspaper, where the major headline, as expected, is on the petrol scarcity. As petrol scarcity worsened as marketers load at 780 naira per litre. Food inflation reducing will reduce it further, says Finance Minister. Still at the top corner of the Vanguard newspaper, and bad governance. CSOs berate federal government over prolonged detention of protesters without charges. Beside it, federal government increases international passport fee. At the final side, police invitation to Ajari more critical unions give strike notice as U.S.-based petitions Nigerian embassy. That's another story. Still taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper, fake certificate, Uganda, Kenya rights jam, demand student verification. There is this story that says federal government finally criminalizes vandalism of telecom facilities in New Gazette. And that is the final story on the page of the Vanguard newspaper. And the story that piqued my interest would be on the increment of the new passport, of international passport. There was a press release yesterday, and I'll quickly read it out. The press release reads that as part of efforts to maintain the quality and integrity of the Nigerian standard passport, the federal government has approved an upward review of the fees for the passport effective from 4th September 2024. Based on the review, 32 pages booklet, 32-page passport booklet with 5 years validity, previously charged at 35,000 naira, will now be charged at 50,000 naira only. 164-page passport booklet with 10 years validity, which was 70,000 naira, will now be 100,000 naira only. However, the fees remains unchanged in diaspora. While the Nigerian Immigration Service regrets any inconvenience this increase might have caused prospective applicants, it assures Nigerians of unwavering commitment to transparency and quality service delivery at all times. He signed Service Public Relations Officer, blah, blah, blah. This is basically telling us that the price for international passport will be increased. And when I saw this news yesterday, I was like, when I saw this press release rather yesterday, I was like, oh, wow. Normally, it's 35,000 naira official. But if you want to go and apply, I don't know if any of us have applied. When you get there, the women applying, you will pay some money just to pass corner, pass corner. If you want to collect your passport early, you have to pay extra money. If you want to quickly do your capturing, you have to pay extra money. So now that the price has been increased, in their own defense, to further serve us better for quality of the passport card, so it can be it cannot be just light A4 papers. Yeah, we understand that. But I feel like maybe a 5,000 increase would have done it, or maybe even a decrease, because we are fighting inflation and not we are fighting. It's not as maybe the cost of things has really reduced drastically. Yeah. So I don't see this thing coming at the right time. I feel like it's coming at the total wrong time. But then the Nigerian Immigration Service knows what's best for them, and then the women collecting all the side money. I think for me it was a woman, so I don't know if we have more men doing that, but I know there are male officials. But now that I want to fast track and quickly renew my passport because I want to travel out ASAP, and I'm supposed to pay 100,000 naira for renewal, or maybe 70,000 naira for renewal, since I'm not starting at first, then I will not pay the woman another money, pay for her to deliver to my house. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. So I'll be looking at the Punch newspaper, and I'll begin with the major headline. PDP chair Wike tackle Clark as anti-Fubara plot thickens. Pro-Fubara Wike assemblies hold parallel sessions, rumble in NYC over Rivers government. I won't quit PDP, says Wike as Ikimi heads disciplinary panel on ex-governors' anti-party cases. Underneath that, we have Togo, Benin, Nigeria $14 million for electricity, NERC. E-hailing drivers reject first/threatening strike, and FG working to avert impending ASU strike, ministry. On top of the headline, we have Dangote refinery reduces crude imports from U.S., and government plans fresh $100 billion investment. And lastly, FG hikes passport fees to 50,000, 100,000. So I'll be looking at this Dangote refinery reduces crude imports from U.S. because I believe this is Dangote refinery potential solution to the fuel scarcity. So the Dangote Petroleum Refinery is planning to use more oil from Nigeria instead of importing it from the United States. In the third quarter, they expect to get about 80% of their oil from local sources, which is an increase from around 75% before. This means that they might not need to buy as much oil from abroad, which could affect oil prices and availability in the markets. So then, starting from October 1st, the Nigerian government will sell some crude oil to Dangote in local currency.
October 1st.
Yes.
No more August.
Fingers crossed. Let's see how that goes.
On our Independence Day. I love that.
This could make it easier for the refinery to rely on Nigerian oil even more. So
I think whatever the case
we'll be
is,
all right.
we still have like 8 days left in August, and we believe that Port Harcourt refinery should start in their own defense.
Yeah.
But now we're already sure that Dangote refinery is not starting August because by October 1 they will start taking crude oil.
crude oil,
So it
yeah.
means it will start being functional by the likes of November or December or probably
Next year.
2025. Yeah. Whatever they want to do, just ensure that the prices of petrol goes down, the prices of everything produced from crude oil goes down. Because right now, some are selling 1,000 naira, some are selling 800 naira, some are selling one for 750.
black marketers
even
are
the black
selling
marketers,
above.
and then the phone cannot be trusted. Yeah, they mix it just for profit reasons.
Definitely.
Let's take a look at the New York Times.
We'll be all right in this country.
Of course.
All right, the New York Times newspaper. The left side of the newspaper has a medical official, a lawyer, and a blood ethical line. All right, beneath that, we have focus on China as Biden exits nuclear plans. Next to that, a rite of passage to go to Disney, then in depth. And that as well, that's next to that. We have a gay student needed help. Enter Coach Wars. All right, the next one after that as well, we have Kindred Spirit. Obama repays Harris Gamble. Bottom of the newspaper, which is the last headline on the newspaper, reads, Braving the White to rescue the rarest of flowers. So the headline I want to quickly touch on is the one that has Wells on it. And you know, if you've been following the newspapers, you get to understand that Wells is the person Harris chose, to run up for vice president as she's running for the office of the president. So let me just quickly give a very short summary. So what this particular headline is talking about is the fact that, a particular student had issue with harassment in school because he was a gay and all of that. But when he now spoke to the school about it, then he's actually a teacher as well. Was is actually a teacher too. So during this time, he helped Jacob out, with the whole gay thing that he was in, and the fact that other students didn't really like him because of, the kind of person he has chosen to become. But with the fact that Wars was there, he took care of him, ensured that he was okay, and he actually now spoke to the rest of the students to understand that, okay, because this person is this, is a gay or he chooses to be like this, doesn't make him any different from, from you. So this is in the newspaper because it's showing light that Wars is this person that he would accept whoever they are, whoever this person is, regardless of whether you choose to be a gay or choose to be a less and all of those things. So, this is just adding more flavor to Harris, just saying that, okay, the fact that she's running for president and having this kind of person with her, it shows that if she becomes the president, you see that there'll be no discrimination, there'll be no racism and all of those things. So,
yeah, interesting. Let me link it to Nigeria before we go on the break. I think I know LGBTQ community or conversations around LGBTQ is quite sensitive, and to avoid the wrath of people on social media, it's best to just probably not talk about it or just be careful what you want to say about it. But what I would just like to say is I saw a video yesterday, but I don't know, this fish pie, the trend, this guy, and now wow, some people too do. The guy is a bit, effeminate in nature.
Yeah.
So people dragged him. There was a comment about that said the fact that some guys are effeminate in nature doesn't mean they are gay or they are queer. Yeah. So I think in Nigeria we need to respect people for who they are. Growing up as a child in children's church, there was a guy. I almost mentioned his name. And there was a guy that he has been effeminate right from childhood, right? I understand that Christian parents want to tweak him and make him more masculine, but that was not just him. So if you notice that our child may be effeminate or maybe as a girl, they call them stud or tomboy, I think it's just best probably accept them and then tutor them, okay, you can dress like a guy because that's our best if you feel comfortable dressing.
Yeah.
But that one does not mean you attract the opposite gender. That's a very different conversation. But let's just understand that someone dressed in a feminine doesn't mean you should beat them up at Oshodi Park or maybe just rip them open or something.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents on it. So we're going to go on this quick break. When we return, we are having a conversation around EI, which is emotional intelligence. Please be on standby. Glad to have you back. You're welcome back to the show. It's still West Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? And this is where we have the conversation relating from politics, leadership, health, mental health, trendy issues, and everything you can think of. Today we'll be talking about emotional intelligence in relationships. EI, which is emotional intelligence, is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively use emotions in ourselves and others. It involves being aware of our own emotional state, emphasizing with the emotions of colors, of others rather, and using the awareness to guide our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions. In a world where connections are more important than ever, understanding the roles of emotional intelligence is key to fostering healthy, healthy and resilient relationships. Today, we will explore how emotional intelligence shapes our interactions, help us navigate conflict, and strengthens the bond we share with others. And I will be starting a conversation with my ladies, of course. I'll start with what is your own definition of emotional intelligence, and maybe a practical example of your definition about emotional intelligence. For me, I would say emotional intelligence is when you are smart. Okay, let's start from the angle of green flag. So we don't make it like a therapy class, or maybe we are trying to have a psychological session with our viewers. Yeah, let's break it down, make it really, really easy. When I talk about emotional intelligence for me, let's talk from the angle of green flag, like I said the other time. Let's say green flag in a guy. I would say I like when someone is smart. I like an intelligent man. I like someone I can learn from. When I mean learn from politics, it can talk about it. Research, it can talk about it. When we are talking about health, it has an idea. When we are talking about physical fitness, it has an idea. When we are talking about Iran-Pakistan war, I mean, something as little as the birth of an animal, it has an understanding about it. For me, that's emotional intelligence in relationship. So what are you ladies' description or definition of emotional intelligence? Maybe a practical example.
Well, I don't really have a practical example, but I see emotional intelligence as your ability to be able to understand yourself and be able to manage the way you communicate or talk to people and relate with people as a whole. That's how I see emotional intelligence. That's how I view it.
I think I would second to that, because I mean that's what emotional intelligence actually mean. You being able to understand yourself, understand your strength, your weakness, what do you think people would say that would trigger you, and all of those things, and being able to communicate with people, manage their emotions as well. When you know that, okay, this person, if you say this kind of thing, this is how this person will react. It's better you don't even say it. Just keep it to yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I mean, okay. I think, like I would always say, once you notice that, okay, this particular person is probably will be triggered by a certain kind of thing, it's better you just stay off that person, or probably try as much as possible to make sure that whatever criticism you're coming with is very constructive and it's something that the person would understand. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I think emotional intelligence means.
Yeah,
Interesting. So now we said we're going to talk about it from different perspectives, from mother-father, mother-daughter, or mother-son relationship, platonic relationship, acquaintances relationship, colleagues relationship, because they're also a part of our lives before we even come to our inner circle. Maybe it's our relationship, our partners, our husbands, our wives. Now, mother-daughter relationship or family relationship, how do we expect our emotional intelligence to be? Because oftentimes we believe the father of the house should be very intelligent, while the mother should just be a supporting striker. What do you ladies think?
What do you have to say to that?
I started with traditionally.
I wasn't even going to that view, that point you were going to. When I hear like maybe mother, daughter, family type of emotional intelligence, I mean, I feel like it comes in terms of your communication level with your parents, how they communicate in the house, how you guys relate. In that, like my mother always tells me, you need to, at this point of time, you should be able to know what I like and what I do not like. So you're not supposed to do what I do not like. You understand? So that's where emotional intelligence will play out. You've been with these people for a very long time. You should be able to know that, okay, this particular thing, they don't like it, it's not allowed, or it doesn't sit down well with the family. that kind of thing. That's where I was going to in terms of like more, the children and the parents type of relationship. And then also parents should be able to understand their children. You know, this generation now, parents, they believe that, I don't know, the way they look at their children now, as if they don't have, let's say they don't have sense, or they don't, they believe that they don't think highly of what they can do or their capacity. They think so low of their children. I'm a living testimony to that. So
oh, really?
Actually, my not if she, it's not as if my parents don't think highly of me. They just don't believe, oh, you can do some certain things, which I can actually do.
Right.
You understand? So I feel like also parents should be able to look into their children and be able to understand them, be able to communicate with them, because it gets to a certain level where you actually have to be close to your child, where you actually have to listen to your child, able to understand them, so they will not go astray, or so they will not be able to come and approach you. They'll not be able to meet you, you know? So, yeah, that's the two perspectives I'm looking at in emotional intelligence.
Okay, so I mean, I'll just second to what she's saying, because I mean, you're actually on point here. So I think for you to even be a parent in the first place, I want to believe that you already know how to nurture, how to train, how to be friends with your children. Yes, it's very essential. You know, it's just like when before you go into marriage or before you go into a relationship, you yourself, you're already okay. You get what I'm saying? You're already prepared. You're emotionally prepared. You're physically prepared. You're spiritually prepared. You're financially prepared. When these things are, I mean, all taken care of, then I can now say, oh, this person is fit to go into a relationship. Same goes to parents as well. If you're not emotionally okay, if you're not emotionally fit, right, it will affect the child. If you're not physically fit, it will affect the child. If you're not spiritually fit, it will affect the child. If you're not, what else, medically or whatever, it definitely will affect the child. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the train-up matters. Now, when you're talking about emotional intelligence, I want to believe that you already understand your child, right? Because the only way you'll be able to pass the right information or show that you really love this person, or for the person to feel that, okay, I'm being loved, is by first of all, you understanding who this child is. What's the love language of this child? Do you get what I'm saying? If this person is attention and you're always buying gifts for that person, it's not like the child will not accept it. Of course, the person will accept it, but the person would not see that, okay, my mommy loves me 100%. So you have to study the love language of your child. That's the only way you'll be able to communicate better, and the person gets to the communication. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, I mean, just like we would always say, communication always works when the receiver gets it. It's not even from you. It's when the receiver gets it that it becomes communication. That's when you know that whatever you said has been communicated properly. Do you get what I'm saying?
What I feel like the baby boom past generation did not do well, which is our parent generation, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Millennials are, I think, our age.
Just before the Gen Zs, that's the millennials.
So the baby boom past generation, they like to compare their children with other children, something that affected me a lot. That even my final year project, I used it. I mean, that was my final year topic, because I grew up in a home where, yeah, we were brilliant, but we were also, some of us were brilliant, some of us were intelligent, right? There's a difference between being brilliant and being intelligent.
I would like you to explain that.
Streetwise, oh yes, of course I will. When you're brilliant, book-wise, you are there, first. When you're intelligent, book-wise, you might not be the top of your class, but you're like somewhere in the middle, but other areas you're very smart. I mean, let's connect this TV. You can say, okay, let's give it a trial, right? So you are smart now, but brilliant, you're just smart in book aspects. But intelligent, you are smart there. Then there's something called streetwise. Streetwise is you can maneuver yourself in the street. You can go to a street from the very first time, and you will not get hurt, and none of your things will get stolen. That's streetwise, right? So our parents compared us with, oh, can't you see this person? Oh, they are doing well. Yes, we were doing well, but the focus was to beat them. Right, that was what I got. The focus was to beat those children they were comparing us to, not to be better on my own, not to be intentional about it. Then our father, okay, I might say our father. My father would tell us that, tell we the siblings then that if you become first in your class, he would take us to a popular restaurant where I grew up then. So that the goal was to get to that restaurant, right? Every Sunday after church, we would drive there, highlight, it will enter and go and buy the chicken pie.
But you won't go.
But we will not go. So the license to enter the chicken, to enter the restaurant was to become first of your class. So the goal was everybody wants to be the first. When we finally, we're not doing it because we want to be smart. We're not doing it because we wanted to be good on our own. We're doing it so we can gain access to that restaurant. Because that was the talk of the town. And we're just like an average children, but we still had money to buy all those things, right? Fast forward to when my sister became first in her class. My daddy came back with walnut. That okay, I expected it to be first overall. So because you came first, you get walnut. And yes, instead of sharing a bowl of ice cream with all your siblings, you get your own ice cream. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing this. What's that? The moment you are getting to the ladder, you are increasing the height. So I'm not doing this. It was doing it for the perspective of, oh, I'm educated, and I also want my children to be educated. But it went as far as choosing career path for us, right? It didn't make us stronger now. So I felt like the emotional intelligence was not there. It was for his own perspective. He didn't ask us, okay, what do you want to be? Right. It is emotional now. We're not having this heart-to-heart conversation. Okay, I notice you are not smart, you are not brilliant when it comes to physics, chemistry, and biology. What about you go to a commercial class? What about you go to a art class? But no, it wants to be called daddy doctor. It wants to be called daddy lawyer. Right. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I also realized that my lawyer, this thing, was because of my own selfish interest, not because I loved being a lawyer. Right. So it affected me at some point. It affected some of my siblings at some point. We were able to find our path later on. Back to my choice of topic in my project, I was able to find out that it is just how they view life. They compare you to other people so you can be better. Forgetting that I am not you. You are not me. Even twin sisters, they are not the same person. One person will like beans and corn. The other person will like only beans. We should understand that level. Now, I want to ask this question that what mistakes did we think that our parents did not do right, that we as mothers should do right when it comes to emotional intelligence or emotional bonding with our kids?
Okay, so you already mentioned that part where, I mean, they want to choose the career path and all of these things. And it just boils down to the fact that they want you to live a certain kind of life that they did not live. So my dad has an issue with you not failing, to be honest. Like, it became so bad for me that's why I kind of panic a lot, and that's why I take my time when I'm working. Because, I mean, the first thing is ensure that you're working. That's number one. My daddy doesn't, like, when you are idle, he's like, why are you not doing something? And that's what pushed me to be, I think, where I am today. So my daddy was not this person that, he's not this person that would choose a career path for you now. We are very similar. I and my dad we are very, very similar. Just that, no, I think we are similar, yeah? Because, I mean, he studied law, and I think it's just, what I would say to that is, concerning what you just said, is the fact that he probably wasn't giving you guys the example that you guys should emulate from, right? So my dad is not that person that will tell you, oh, why are you not carrying first in the class? He would show you his own achievements. Do you understand? That's how my dad is. He would show you his own achievement. Like, I remember leaving primary school with third position, and he was all over the place. That's how he is. He would actually show you his own achievements. He would tell you, okay, I understand that this is not easy, but don't you know that I did not do this? I did not get to where I am today because of... Do you understand? So it's just giving you that part. Like, my dad is an author. I can count how many books I've read that he wrote. So it's a proud thing for me that I can be in my mom's shop today and somebody's like, oh, I want to buy 48 Laws of Power, or I want to buy this, or even down to my... If after they are buying what they want to buy, they're like, okay, I want to get power in your tongues. I'm like, okay, my dad wrote that. I would actually tell you, I'll be proud to say it. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's just the fact that he wasn't he wasn't giving guys his own example or his own, achievement to see and follow suit. You get? Because it wasn't a hard thing for me to be like, okay, I want to study law, right? My dad is always talking. He's always writing. Our handwritings are very the same, like alike. Do you get what I'm saying? We think alike. So if he's here, I think he's probably way more smarter than me. I don't know, but he can be here now and he would. There's no how. Like, there are people that come to the house sometimes for problems. They come with issues here and they're like, Omasade, I want to solve this. I don't know what to do. The only thing they need to do is to just tell him. And he's giving them 1,001 solutions. I'm not sure I have that capability. The least I can do is probably tell you what my 2 cents on certain issues. Right. But he would tell you everything, like around political law, science. So the guy, he did art, yeah, but he actually knows almost everything on science as well.
So do you consider you and your father bonding well? Because the conversation is around emotional intelligence. Do you
So-
feel like you guys bonded where you understood your type of person, he accepted your type of person?
Okay, so now the problem is, it is one thing to now show your children, okay, this is how I live my life, and I think this is a good path for you to follow. It's another thing to study your child, right? I am an attention person. My papa would only do, oh, okay, is that it? Oh, yeah, thank you. See, it's very rare for my dad to actually communicate to you the way he was supposed to. The least he can do is to tell you what to do, and he's gone. My dad will not tell you, oh, sit down. Like, he's not that petting person. He's not that attention person. He has no time for that. So he will just tell you what he thinks you want he thinks you want to hear. He can actually send you something and you finish doing it. There are times where he do a particular thing, or something. Maybe there's something he has done and I love it and I do mine, and I feel in my age and after that I'll be like, oh, this is brilliant. I'm very sure if Papa sees this, he'll be like, this is beautiful. This is Oga go say and say, oh, you did this beautiful. That's all. He will not like congratulate you the way I feel like he's supposed to. So it just takes us back to the fact that they really don't know much about us, even though they feel like they do.
Yes.
Even though they feel like they do. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So they don't really pay attention to details, which I feel like this generation now,
Should do
we
better.
kind of doing, yeah. I feel like we actually pay attention to details. We don't just look at these things and go. We want to come back to it again and just check, oh, okay, this is what you're talking about. Ah, beautiful.
So
And that's
let
it.
me hear from you.
Well, I can't say I've struggled with my parents concerning academic or anything like that. I mean, me, I'm also one of those people that push for academics, so I always strive to make my parents proud. My parents will never want to even promise anything. Even if they promise and fail. It's just to promise to give you that, oh, don't worry, just, you know, and my parents were always proud of all of us really. They were always proud of us, no matter what you, wherever you were, you got, you know. We went even dull. We went last, we were like mostly like second, third, fourth, first, that kind of thing. That's how we were going. So even if you fail in a particular subject, my mom they'll just sit you down. My mother, not even my father, mother will just sit you down and be like, oh, this thing, you just work on it. Or maybe in time, if she sees that, okay, you're struggling with that thing, she will just be like, oh, I understand. And I had a lot of like lesson teachers while growing up and all of that. So I feel like she understood our academic capability. She wasn't... They weren't harsh about it. My dad was not even one to really talk. He would just look through it and let my mom do the, you know, his own was just to view and just nod his head. That's my dad's part in that. But in terms of comparison, like comparing and that, my parents, okay, this was mostly, my mom was really the one that mostly did most of the work. So she always compared us. This was all of us with my cousins. That was the issue we had while growing up. I don't... the youngest in my mother's elder sister side is... I'm like 2 years older than her. So she's always comparing me to her every time. See how she can do this one. See how she can do that one. See, even to this very day as I speak, she still compares. And I'm always like, I don't know, are we trying to beat them in something? There's actually a day I spoke to her, I was like, are we trying to win something here? I don't understand. Her own capability is different from mine. What she can do is different from what I can do. What I can do is what I can do. And I feel like what I can do is okay for me. I can only try and improve. I may not be there yet, but I'm improving. It's a growth, it's a process. So I don't like that comparison. That's something I would change. That's something I would not do when I become a parent. I would not compare. I would try to understand and flow, like how she did for my academics. I wish she could do that in every other aspect. Because she was very, very understanding in academics. She would encourage you, she would push you. In fact, I wake up in the morning, I'm really seeing mathematics textbook here with four pages that are folded, giving assignments, English this side, this one. So I know that every day I was always occupied. And that was one training that I will always be grateful for because it did a lot for me. You understand?
Right.
So
now that we are going to, let's leave our parents and family away now. Okay, we are going to go take a break. When we come back, we're going to be having a conversation. We were at a book reading over the weekend, and we talked about how your background should shape in you. Most of us, they have the best of the background. Some of us had a bit of the good and a bit of the bad. Some of us had a bit of averagely good, averagely bad, right? So we're going to talk about how our upbringing, because we're speaking to emotional intelligence, how the emotional intelligence we gain from our parents, we watch from our parents, or we learn from our parents, affected the type of person we grew up to be. This and many more are what we're going to be talking about when we come back. Please stay with us. You're welcome back to the show. This is the West Breakfast hashtag. What are you saying? And we are speaking to emotional intelligence in relationships. And before I went on that break, I said we're going to talk about a book reading that we went for and how the guy's upbringing affected the type of person he turned out to be. So this book is titled Unbroken, and it was about the story of a lady. And fast forward to the particular part I want to talk about. There is a guy named Funshaw. His family issue growing up as a child wasn't really talked about. It was just hinted a bit. And then the guy turned out to be a very toxic person. I mean, very, very toxic. Like any little thing, he won't talk to you for as long as he can. Any little thing that maybe would have called you on, it will not call you. It will not say, okay, I'm still angry. In the next 3 days, I will talk to you. It will not talk to you. You should call him and ask him. It will not say anything. They kept malice for like 4, 6, 7 years in their marriage. There was a time that they had a conversation that he confessed to the wife that it was because she forgot to pick clothes from the washing machine. That's why he kept malice that for like another 2, 3 months. So we had a conversation around the type of person, how should our upbringing determine the type of person we turn out to be? So many people are manipulative. Some of us do not even know we are manipulative. Some of us know that we're manipulative and they are doing it on purpose, right? Some people are toxic on purpose and they know and they are doing it. Some do not even know they are toxic on purpose. So do you think our type of person, our upbringing should affect our view about emotional intelligence? And I saw a post online where someone said, okay, I want to read it out. The person said, I'm at an age now where I can tell it won't work just by having conversation with you. What do you think about it? Just by having conversation with you, you know that, no, this friendship, this talking stage, this relationship cannot just work. What are you ladies think about it?
So let me quickly answer this last one you said, then I'll push it to her to answer the first one.
Okay.
So I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and exactly what you just said now is what we are talking about. So he was complaining. We are talking about this whole relationship thing and how he's like, oh, well, as I guess it is right, this, I'm not in that dating pool again. And I'm like, kilo sheleni, she is breakfast they serve, kilo day, we go collect lunch now, breakfast no day. Do you understand? And it's like, what really happened was the fact that this girl in question is, let me not use manipulative, but he was more like, it was more like he was the only person in the relationship. He was doing the calling, he was doing the texting. If, you know, as she can actually, just like you talk about that phone show now, she can actually stay a week without having without communicating with him. Okay, what happened like the last time for them to like go their separate ways? According to him, she got a new job. Like, let's just say January, she got a new job January. So because of that, he had to like get her new clothes, new bags, new shoes. New job, new things and all of that. So she started the job. Then February came, February 14. You know what February 14 is? So it was Valentine's season, and she was expecting him to buy gifts and all of this, he sent flowers to the office. And it's like, Auntie, I already buy you clothes just few weeks ago. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, we are still going to go out. I mean, you know, Valentine fell, I think, on the Wednesday or so. So it's like, okay, I mean, during the weekend, we are still going to go out. So why are you now looking for gifts, you know, to say for me to send to you and all of that? And she got pissed at it, and she refused to speak to him. So when he tried speaking to her, she's like, you that normal say, okay, Ina asked her, okay, I understand the angle you're coming from, right? Okay, I did not send you gift. Oh, yeah, sorry. But you said, you never buy something for me since you don't do all this relationship. That's where she now said, because I know that you will not give me gifts, that's why I did not buy for you. So in his mind, it's like, oh, okay. Is then he now realized that he has actually been the one, you know, pushing this ship. Yeah, pushing this ship for a long time. And she's really not doing anything. So now, he now took us back to, according to him, he now took us back to, like, before they even started dating. You now remember when she said that, she is like this. You can actually keep malice for a month or anything if the partner is not ready to, you know, submit to her or something. And he went on to say other stuff that, you know, she has already said before they went into the relationship. So what are we saying? When you're having communications with people, it might sound funny. It might be is that time that you be thinking you guys are just playing. To be honest, you guys are not playing. That's when you're supposed to be taking everything the person is saying very seriously. Do you get what I'm saying? I remember the last trip I was in, I remember having... The last ship. So I remember having a conversation with this person. To be honest, this person actually said everything that he needed to say. But, you know, when you are having communication with this person, and you know how, I think I posted it earlier today or yesterday evening. I said, it's how each and every one of us have our tanks not filled. That's the truth, right? Especially when you come out from a family where your parents probably do not even understand your love languages and all of these things. We all have our tanks not being filled. Do you get what I'm saying? So anytime you see somebody, anytime you start having communication with one person, you would want it to, you know, linger and continue to go like that, even when you know that you don't want to be with this person. Yeah. That's the selfish thing that comes with it. But now back to the question. Once you actually see that, or you have communications with this person, and you see that it's not like all the things that the person is saying is at the back of it. Let me even give you this joke. You remember what I said during the book launch here? This person that I met is quite interesting. It's fun. In my front like this person is an evangelist. He's speaking to the Lord is speaking to him. But when he's not with me, this guy smokes shisha. Exactly. Just wow. So it's and do you know the interesting part is that we now had a communication about it, and it's like, you know, it's not big deal. Interesting part, as we are communicating, someone that is smoking shisha will still tell you I was praying and the Lord spoke to me. The Lord spoke to you where? Where?
Let me hear from you.
Okay. So about the malice, yeah. I actually was one of those people that would keep malice for like 2 years.
Receive your healing in Jesus' name.
Amen. Okay, so that was a long time ago, and then I used to always enter, like I used to fight you verbally with people, always entering one verbal fight or the other, not physically. So one day I had to like think back on it, because some people cannot keep on repeating the same things in your ear every time. You have to look into it. So I sat down and I was like, oh, where is this thing coming from? Because someone would throw something at me and immediately I want to snap back. I won't want to even listen. I'm always trying to justify myself. I'm always trying to prove a point. So that's why I would go into the malice. I would go into this. So then me trying to link it, that where is all this coming from? Like, what exactly is causing me to be like this? And I had to look back to my background, like my home. My home, they will throw it to you like this. And then when they throw it to you like this, you have to have something to back it up. So that's how my home is. Because most times in my home, most times they're always wrong. Like, you actually did not do this thing, but they want to hear you speak. They want to believe that, okay, you can. So in my house, they would throw something at you and they expect you to pick it up and react. So we're so quick to react. Each and every one of us are so quick. We don't even want to hear the ending of your sentence. We're giving to you straight up. So that was my problem. That's why I feel the guy actually had there's probably something that happened, or probably he was in his house. They don't even allow him to speak. So he always felt like he had to bottle it in, keep it to himself, and he won't say anything. And that anger that anger, that's the anger I always carry to my keeping malice. That's the because I don't want to. Sometimes I will not even want to speak because I feel like before you would tell me, and you're always this, you're always that, I will just keep quiet and be keeping that malice with you. But it's paining me because I actually want to say something. It's not like this. It's like this. It's like that.
If I'm
Let me say my own 2 cents about malice before I will ask the next question. For me, I really do not like malice, and I do not like keeping malice or someone keeping malice with me. I believe that as we grow up, yes, I grew up in a Christian home where malice was not a thing, right? Yes, we fight with our siblings, we shout when we are explaining matter, they don't calm down, yeah, speak one, because we were very fast talkers, right? So the first person I kept malice with was in teenage church, from children church, teenage church, youth church, then adult church before we now start to stay on our own. I didn't like the fact that I kept malice with her and I had issues because I felt like she was robbing on my joy. When we are in teenage church, I will not be free to play to our side. I didn't like it. So I trashed out the issue. That was the first and last person I had issues with, right? At the moment, so do I say in the past 3 months, I found myself in a new space with entire different set of people. I mean, it literally changed me from this type of person to this type of person. I had to have the conversation with a friend that I even had to pray about it. Very funny, but I had to pray because it was stressing my head. I met a very unique type of beings that I've not met before in my life. When you're meeting like 10 strong personalities, right? It changed me to the type of person that I was defensive. I was always talking. And when I'm not talking, I'm either very quiet. And when I'm quiet, you think maybe I'm angry. And the reason I'm not even thinking about you, right? So then I realized that, then I found one person in particular where this person that any little thing, he wants to keep malice. And I feel like I'm not in that age right now where somebody will be keeping malice with me. Let me just move this person to the corner and let's see the next available person, right? Everybody believes I'm the bad person for not trying to strike conversation with this person. But I believe that this is me just removing weeds, a bit tasks from the weeds, right? And keeping people with the good energy and removing the person with the bad energy.
Understandable.
But now I understand that you cannot please everybody.
Yes.
Like I spoke to a colleague yesterday, not everybody will like you. It is very normal to dislike some people. It's very normal to like some people. And it is very normal for some people to keep malice. And it's very normal for some people not to keep malice. So the best thing is just to do what works for you. For me, malice does not work for me. Talking back at you does not work for me. When I realized that I've changed this past 3 months, I have to be conscious of myself. Calm down. They will trigger you, but don't say anything. They will intentionally say things that they know that on the normal day you will react to. But you know what? Just smile and leave them alone. Like Uwa said, look at this phone. Say bad things about the phone. The phone is bad. The phone battery is not good. This. Did you reduce the quality of the phone?
Nah.
No. Did the battery go off?
Nah.
No. Period.
That's on you, bro.
And next question. Empathy is a very key and component part of emotional intelligence. Not even sympathy now. Empathy, putting yourself in that person's shoe, which is a major factor of emotional intelligence. Now, how do you think empathy influences the quality of our relationship with friends, colleagues, relationship, husband, kids? How do you think empathy plays a very important role in our relationship?
People tend to judge without actually having to be in that kind of position. Some people have not even experienced such. They just judge based on, hearing it. People need to sit down and be like, okay, if it was me, if it was me that this thing happened to, if I was in this situation, how would I go about it? Would I like people this? So people need to stop judging and actually, they should think deeper. You can't just be on the surface and be like, no, it can't be me. No, if it was me, I would this. No. People need to, let's start. I think we should start putting ourselves in other people's shoes. Not just talking anyhow and judging people anyhow. That's me.
So what's the golden rule again? Do unto others what you want them to do to you. Yeah. That has always been my number one rule, to be honest. So I am not this person to... In short, I am not this person to do a lot of things, to be honest. If you do something to me now, the least I can do is to just keep you quiet. Like, that's me. Do you get what I'm saying? So now, for you to strive... this is where emotional intelligence comes in. When we're talking about manage people's emotion, manage your emotions and that of other people, it's not just by saying it, it's the actions that works better. Do you get what I'm saying? And now, how do we put this into play or into practice? It's simple. When you know that if you do this particular thing, you yourself, you will not take it. If this particular thing is done to you, don't do it to another person. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you know that, me personally, oh, Lord. I don't want to be using myself as an example every time. But, what I'm trying to say is, if every one of us understand what the golden rule is and start following suit and be very practical about it, not just by saying it here, I feel like life would be a lot better. That's all I would say.
So how does emotional intelligence improve our communications with people generally? People, I mean, all spheres of people, including people in our personal, in our inner circle. Because I used to say to people, I was groomed in love. I might not have the best of the best. To be honest, I feel like not everybody was groomed with love.
Hey.
To be honest, I don't know if that sounds harsh.
Some were groomed with tough love. That type of tough love.
I used to tell people that I was groomed with love. I was groomed in a home where we have issues, we have the conversation. Maybe not immediately, but we have the conversation. We don't keep malice for a very long time. You know, there's a very thin line between keeping quiet and keeping malice. There's a very thin line between...
that too.
And there's a balance. When the person is in the room, you're strong in face. When you're laughing with everybody, when it comes to that person, you're not laughing. When you enter, you're saying good morning, everybody. When it comes to that person, you not answer. Or maybe you use notes.
But is that a bad thing? That's another thing.
I think I don't have the right to judge.
That might just be the person's way of, probably not exploding. You know?
I don't have the right to judge if malice is good or bad, or if keeping quiet is good or bad. But for me, malice does not work for me. When I noticed that you asked me for something today, I told you I cannot give you. Maybe I gave you an excuse and you were not understand. You kept malice with me. Okay, maybe it's just normal. The second day, you kept malice with me. Or maybe something else happened. There's like a track record of 3 times. In my head, I start to think, even in my inner circle, nobody is keeping malice in me. My mom will not keep malice in me. Even if we have the toughest of the conversation, she will still call me and say, Mommy, God bless you, this. So when I start to think of, okay, people close to me are not keeping malice, it's not somebody that's on the outside. They don't want to be throwing bad stone inside good stone. To be honest, I just leave that person outside. I don't know if it sounds bad or maybe it sounds wrong, but that's how I perceive it. The conversation now is, how does it improve our communication with our partners? You said some people didn't like to have the conversation. They don't want to explode. They just want to just stay quiet and till whenever they are ready, or maybe they will not have the conversation at all and just move forward. I believe in having conversations because when you have conversation, to be honest, you learn a lot about people. You might have assumed me wrong. You might have thought about Mira. Mira does not shake people. But in the real sense, Mira does not even know she does not shake you among other people. Do you understand? The 2 times maybe you tried to shake Mira, maybe she was not even in that right. Maybe she's even on a period or so. Maybe she's having emotional, maybe she's not even at work. Maybe it's only her body that's at work. When you had the conversation with Mira, oh, I'm so sorry. I really did not know. I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and we started off with shouting, and the next person said, I'm so sorry I raised my voice at you. Oh, God, that was the end of the conversation for me. And I told you, I'm so sorry, I raised my voice at. That was it. And not, you were trying to prove points. Me too, I'm trying to put points, and we did not agree, and I just walk out. When I see him tomorrow, I want to carry face. When he sees me, he wants to carry face. How many of us are even in this world that we are fighting this person, fighting this that person?
So I think that's where it is. So it's not about saying, oh, keep malice, oh, don't keep malice. I think it's just from the angle of understand that communication, would sort things better than you having to stay quiet. Me, I will still stay quiet. But that's not me keeping malice. I think it's just me just avoiding, having to have that conversation. Yeah, because I just have this ability to, okay, you do this to me, no wala, it's fine, I will just move on. That doesn't mean if I see you tomorrow, I will not talk to you. The difference is that all those plenty laugh, we'll just end it there. We'll just have normal conversation that we are supposed to have. But you see, that's the thing. Because I feel like we should also establish the kind of relationships as well. Because, there are people that once they do certain things to you, or once a certain thing has been done to you, I just feel like, okay, I cannot believe you of all person would do this. So instead of me having to have communication with you, or because again, it also depends on the person you're even having this conversation with. Because if you've seen this person to be, no matter how you want to explain, this person will want to prove points, we shall want to explain, we shall want to make you feel like, oh, this one you're saying does not make any sense. That in that kind of situation, I will just prefer to stay quiet and just be looking at you. That doesn't mean if I see you, I will not greet you. We will even hug. That's the interesting part. We would hug, but of course, you know that I really don't care.
The coming from a strong
just go like this. I feel like most times, see, it has both the good part and the bad part as well. The truth is, it's not everybody in this world that you have to make friends with. Me personally, don't make friends with me. Just stay where you are. Any day that I will see, we'll vibe. That's why I'm the lady vibe here. So every day we'll see, we'll vibe. After that day, everybody just go their separate paths. That's how it has been working for me. I feel like that's how it should be. Do you get what I'm saying? Because when you intend to now bring certain people to you, or when you try as much as possible, I can count relationships that have tried to make it work, but you will see that it's not working. So why try harder? Why disturb yourself? Why put yourself in that place where you have to be sad or where you have to start overthinking? Like, nobody has time for that. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I would just prefer, what I would think I would do, or what I do actually, is to just put you at arm's length. So even if you do anything that would, pay me or anything, I'll just see that this person has always been like that, and I'll just walk past it. That's how it is.
As we prepare to wrap up, I'm so sorry. Let's just take our final thought. And at the final thought, I want us to talk about the practical steps individual can take to develop emotional intelligence. How do you think we can develop emotional intelligence? Because it's way past this person is intelligent, this person is brilliant. It might be brilliant and not be emotionally wise and not be intelligent. So what practical steps do you think individuals can take to achieve good or maybe moderately good emotional intelligence?
I believe it begins with acknowledging it. You have to know that this is where your fault, this is your bad character. And there's no how all these things, people won't have ringed it in your ear maybe once or twice. And I believe that once people ring it in your ear maybe once or twice, you should be able to like sit down, look into it. I'm actually like this. Like, I did that. Like I said, I'm a living testimony to all this. So I can say I'm still in the process of growth. I know what it means. That time, I wouldn't even accept it. I'm the only one that will tell myself that, nah, everybody is just different. I'm unique. Everybody is saying rubbish, and I'm the correct one. I have to know that, how will I be going to different places and everybody saying the same thing over and over again? That means it's me, it's not them. I can't be going to different places and they're saying the same thing yet. So you have to first acknowledge it, accept it. Like, I have accepted it and I'm working on it. So when you accept it, you start to work on it. It's a step-by-step process. It's not easy because it has been with you for a very long time. It's your bad character. So you just slowly, instead of going this way, try to calm yourself down. Like, okay, I can go this other way. Instead of shouting, let me just calm.
I think I love that one. Lady Vibe, quickly. I mean, at times, okay.
So just a second to that. Self-awareness works. Then self-regulation, working on it. Empathy. I mean, like I said, the golden rule. You have to know what it is and follow suit. Do you get what I'm saying? If you understand that this thing I want to say now. Me personally, if you tell me, I no go agree, there's no need of you telling another person. You understand? So whenever we're doing something, we should ensure that we also look out for the other person as well. Don't do what you yourself cannot take. Don't do it to another person. That's all I would just add to that.
I love it. What you cannot take, don't do it to another person. I think mine would be communication. Yes, I know I might not be the best. Or for me, I like to match vibes at times. When I notice that when I try to communicate with you, you're giving me cold shoulder. I tried the second time, the third time, you're still giving me cold shoulder. For me, I'll just seal that door. Okay, you and I are probably not in that mood. But not that I'm keeping malice. But then the practical steps, which ladies have talked about, for me would be try to have a conversation with that person, communicate. You guys must have gotten yourselves wrong or assumed one or two things you heard. That is it for me, and that is it on the show today. Ensure to have smooth communication with people. Try to build great emotional intelligence with people at different places. And before we go, ensure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Click the subscribe button now. You can also interact with us further via our different social media platforms. So we'll come your way again tomorrow when we're going to be talking about AI, artificial intelligence, innovations, creations. Please ensure you do not miss it. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.